haven't spoken yet today, so my voice is a little bit all over the place. Also, I was out in the sun yesterday with no sunscreen, so hi. What do I usually say? I'm Maja. You can find me as sjomajlin on Instagram and Ravelry. Today is Friday, the 8th of July. And I am coming to you from Jönköping, Sweden. Where it is, like, there are heavy, grey, thick clouds. And small slivers of blue sky over there where the sun is. So the sun is currently shining very, very brightly, but will probably be covered very, very soon. So there might be some weird light issues going on. Did I press record? Yes, I did. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. There might even be some thunder. We'll see. What else? Yeah, I'm thinking I'll probably be able to make this in one take, as I'm expecting a phone call from the doctor's office to just renew some meds. No issue at all. Otherwise there will be like a weird cut and deal. Anyway. So hi, how are you? It's been 2 weeks. Eek. Feeling awkward again. Okay, so last week I was at camp. I've spoken about this before. It is a camp for adults with, again, it never sticks, mental disabilities. So it is, and I absolutely don't mean this in an offensive way at all, so please don't take it as it. But in a way it is sort of like being a camp for children, but they are actually adults. I am the music organizer, I don't know, at this camp, and it is amazing and just awesome. I did post a few photos on Instagram last week, as you might have noticed if you follow me there. I did not update very much at all from camp, and I did write a little comment about, like, words. I mean, it is a little bit I don't want to, you know, publish their faces without consent. Yeah, anyway, so I didn't really do anything about it like that. But it was an amazing week, or I say week. The camp starts at Wednesday and ends on Sunday, so it is less than a week. I went to the camp place. I don't know what it's called. It's not, I mean, we had like lodgings, like indoor lodgings and stuff. So it wasn't like, you know, scout camp in the middle of the woods or anything. Just by the ocean. I went there on Tuesday last week and spent one night before. We had like the leaders or staff meeting at 10 in the morning, and then the campers arrived at sort of 5. So, and it is about somewhere between 2.5 and 3 hours drive, so I didn't want to go early in the morning. I'd rather go the afternoon before, so I did, and it was lovely. I did have a rather deep musical experience. I might talk about that towards the end though, because it's not really related, so if you're not interested, and then you know. So I did not get a lot of knitting done last week at all. I did some, not a lot, very, very little. And also, yeah, I did talk about last episode about the midsummer celebration, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure I did. Because that was the weekend before, so 2 weeks ago now. Yeah. Anyway, so after camp, I went home on Sunday. Again, 2.5, 3 hours drive. Listening to a podcast on coelacanth, as you do. It was really, really interesting. Ooh! I got home and I was tired. I was beat. After both, not exactly my normal sleep pattern for these days at camp, and also all of the impressions, sounds, you know, everything. And also the, you know, sort of... Did you hear the train? Maybe you did. Sort of post-performance dip, if you will. Again, did you hear it? If I have like music on or something, I don't really hear it where I live. But I don't right now, so I don't know if you picked it up. Anyway. Yeah, so on Monday, I got out of bed at like 5 in the afternoon. Tuesday was a little bit better, not by a lot. Excuse me. Again, this is Friday, so I am sort of back from that, but it was a really, really rough few days there where I just was out of it and just had a really hard time. Anyway, so I didn't do a whole lot of knitting and crafting at the beginning of this week either. That's fine, you know? I'm not gonna beat myself up over that. It's fine. Or so I keep telling myself. I was thinking there was something else. I thought that just fluttered through my head. Yeah, my... Okay, so I'm wearing... Let me see if I can show you my legs, my calves. I am wearing like a t-shirt dress and calf sleeves. So I've been running. I believe I talked about this last episode as well. Oh, I'm way down in shot. Let's see if I can do this. Nope. My chair doesn't want to cooperate. Cooperates. Never mind then. And it's quite noisy. I was running 8 days running streak, or was it 7? I don't know. Anyway, and then my legs hurt really, really bad. So I had to take a day off, and then I tried running again, and I was super, super sore. And it seemed like I might have had an inflamed bursa, I believe is the word. Or something else. I tried using like compression socks, stockings, what is it? And oh, what's that? It's like, it's absolutely not like a lotion, but it is like a lotion substance that you put on your skin, and it is sort of increasing blood flow, and it's usually pretty strong. I think you know what I mean. I really don't know what it might be called in English. Yeah, so I was trying with different things, and I tried taking a really like slow, soft run, and I just started hurting in new places in my legs. So I took quite a few days off. I did run Tuesday and Wednesday down by the ocean where the camp is. and then I had to take quite a few days off. I ran Sunday when I got home, and then I took again quite a few days off, and then I ran yesterday. So Thursday. My plan is to try to go out today again. I am feeling pretty good, but my legs are a little bit sore. So I am thinking that I'm wearing these as what do you say? Förebyggande, precautionary. I'm wearing this as a precaution. Hopefully that works. We'll have to see. So my running isn't working out all that good. And I'm sure that is because I overdid it, especially with that 12K. It was a bad idea to do it. I'm still proud over the fact that my body actually did it. I sort of just clapped my hands down on my knee, and my ring just caught a corner of my kneecap, and that really, really hurts. Okay. So yeah, it's been quite intense for the last 2 weeks in different ways. Not so much crafting. So they are calling any minute now, or if they call a little bit early, they might be calling any minute now, or they might be calling late, in which case they won't be calling any minute now, from the doctor's office. So there will quite possibly be a awkward cut. And again, it's absolutely nothing to worry about. I am on happy pills. Antidepressant medications, as you'll know, if you've been with me for a while. And what they do, I believe this is like words. I believe this is what they do in other areas than just Sweden. The doctor doesn't prescribe, you know, just a buttload of meds, but they prescribe for a while, and then you have to call and just renew the prescription. And if there are no changes, they will just renew it, and if there is something you need to talk about, you'll talk about it. And they might do some adjustments or so. So that's it. It's just that I sort of need to have them, so anyway, my thoughts are all over the place. Knitting, crafting. I do have 2 finished objects. First off are the mittens. The pattern is Gudrun mitten. They are by Maria Lerking on Ravelry. I am not at all keeping up my Ravelry projects page. At all. These are up there, not this pair, but other pairs that I've made. So if you want to go through there, if you want to find the pattern, you can do so. Or comment and I'll send you a link. I'm not really doing show notes, as you all know. So these are the feminist mittens. I've shown you these before. So on the thumbs there are the heart symbols, and there are the raised fists. I did some little adjustments to the cuff of the mittens. I showed this on Instagram. I did brush these on the inside, so you can see they felt a little bit and become sort of halo-y, fuzzy, which is extra warm, of course, but it also fluffs up the outside. I don't know how else to describe it. So I didn't brush the outside, so this isn't, you know, halo-y. Well, there's always a slight halo, but it's not halo-y. but it sort of fills, it pushes, I don't know how to describe it. It does something anyway, and I quite like it. So, a friend of mine asked if I could make a pair that she is going to give as a gift. So, this will be a gift. I don't know exactly for who. But I finished them. I did knit them on 2mm needles. I used my carbon, Knit Pro Carbons, GPNs, because I like GPNs. The yarn I used was this, Prolana sock and wool. Sock wool. 75-25 wool polyamide, I don't know, in a red and a grey colorway. So these are just plain sock yarns. And there is a lot left, so they don't take up a whole lot of yarn actually. Ah, voice fry. Sorry. I have all these weird things about my own voice. I also did I did this frying pan. No, I absolutely did not. I did this pot holder thingy. I completely forgot what I was trying to say. So I posted a little video to Instagram that you will be able to see if you follow me there. And I just want to mention, I've mentioned this before, and it's just not, you know, to promote me or anything, but I know some of you don't have Instagram. Excuse me. You can still, on your computer, you can go on to instagram.com/ the username that you are looking for. And that is actually not the address, but you'll insert that there. And without having to log on, or without having your own account, you can watch or you can look at that person's upload. So you don't, if you are interested to check someone out, you don't have to have your own account. Some people have private accounts where you have to send them a request to be able to view their pictures. I'm pretty sure you cannot view their pictures without an account, but for those of us who have open accounts, I'm not sure that is what it is actually called, but you know what I mean. You can watch that on your computer without having an account. So just to let you know. I did post a little video yesterday of me making that with nålbinding, which I think is just wrong way to say it from the original. I mean, that is how you say it now, I'm sure. I know, I mean, needle binding. So anyway, I used some leftovers out of hand spun that I made quite a while ago. So this is a 3-ply chain ply and one of these needles. I have done a pair of mittens before with nålbindning, and it is a quite slow technique. What you do, it is more like crocheting than knitting, because you do, like crocheting, you are sort of shaping it the same way. I did turn this inside out because the way I do it, you can do it differently. The way I do it, I think that the inside looks better than the outside, so that's what I did. And you might be able to tell that it is like a spiral, as with crochet, if you choose to crochet like that. You do work the one stitch at a time, just as in crochet, rather than knitting where you have a bunch of live stitches. The huge difference though with needle binding or nålbindning is that you are not working from the skein like with live yarn. You have to take a piece off and then you actually sew stitches, so you pull all the yarn all the way through with each stitch, so you cannot unravel it. If you for some reason need to go back, you need to unpick those stitches, and that is not very easily done. So yeah, I've been thinking, because I sort of like the process of nålbindning. So I've been thinking, what do I want to make? Because as I said, I made a pair of mittens. The problem is, it's kind of hard to make two mittens the same, or mirrored versions of the same. Because, well, I cannot keep track of, you know, what row am I on? Where am I making increases or decreases? I'm sure you can do that, but I can't. And if I'm having two of something, for example mittens, I want them to be sort of the same, you know. If there are small differences, sure, but I want the fit to be more or less the same. So I wanted to find something that I could just make one out of. So this was the best. I've been wanting something like this for a while, and I haven't just done it until now. So I just did it. Anyway, so I'm trying to come up with I'm trying to come up with another idea of something that I can make. I've just to try it, I've tried to make a flat piece of nålbindning, just as you can do crochet, because I've heard that you can. So I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I did. And you can absolutely do it, sort of just like you do crochet. So you work the stitches across, and then you need to add, so in crocheting you add a chain if you're, or the same amount of chains that works out to be the same height of the stitches that you are making. If you are crochet, you know what I mean. And you need to do that with nålbindning as well, so that you sort of come up to the next level. And you can absolutely do that. It does really twist itself though. So if you have let's just say that this is a piece of nålbindning, it will twist like that. Pretty bad. So it is much easier to do something in the round with nålbindning, and I am trying to come up with the idea of something else to do a little bit bigger than this pot holder cozy thing. I don't know what to call it. Yeah. What else? Did I want to say anything else about that? I don't know. I don't know. What you do want to think about? Some people commented that they want to learn. There are a bunch of videos up there. What I've found is that it is kind of hard. I haven't found, as with, well, there are different ways to cast on for knitting, but there is like the standard go-to, this is how you learn how to cast on for knitting. And there is sort of the standard, this is how you start crocheting as well. What I've found, there is no real standard how to start needle binding. You just do something until you have something to work off of. But then the stitches are, so the start is pretty difficult and fiddly, but then when you have, you know, a little piece of yarn in loops that are looped together, it is pretty easy to get into the motion. What you really do want to think about is to use 100% non-support wool, because you do take the pieces off, and it's better to just jank it apart by hand than to cut it, because when you cut it you have the very clear cuts, because then when you're attaching the next one you want to just be able to splice it together or felt it together, and it's a little bit easier to do that nicely if you have this sort of edge. So you want to unpick the plies and sort of, I'm sure you already know this, but with nålbindning it's important, because otherwise it won't work. So I'm trying to come up with next thing that I want to do with nålbindning, because I think it's a nice method, as I said. So I'll probably do some more in the more or less foreseeable future, I hope, but we'll have to see. But it's nice, it's nice. I've also done some spinning, not a whole lot. I finished the first bobbin. I've started the second. I haven't done a lot on it. So this is the singles. It is pretty thin. It is probably the thinnest that I've spun on my wheel so far. You can see there are 4 different colors. I had 4 different bats in 4 different colors, 100 grams each. So this is not from a top or anything blended originally. I have, can you see that? You can almost make out, yes you can. That brown fluff there is wool, and there is a basket sticking out of this Expedit shelf where I have the bats, and then I just pull off pieces of wool and sort of make these little nests or batlings or whatever, and I have them in this basket, and then I just take one. Sort of randomly, I am making a point of not taking, so if I'm working, so if I would have continued on this, I was working with the light grey, I would make sure not to pick up the light grey, I would make sure to pick up one of the other colors. But I'm not going by a pattern or a rhythm with the colors, I'm just making sure not to use the same on the same, after the same. So 400 grams, I haven't weighed this, I don't know. I'm thinking this is a little bit more than 100 grams probably. So I'm probably a little bit over, I'm probably somewhere between 1/3 and 1/4 done with the singles, and then the ploy. So yeah, I've started the second bobbin, as I said, but I haven't done a lot on that at all, and the wheel is right there, so that's what I'm looking at. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. And then I have 2 works in progress, which are the same that you've already seen a bunch of times. I haven't started any new knitting after I finish the mittens. I will probably start something, because I like to have sort of 3 projects on the go. That was weird. I'm going away next week. Yeah, so next week's episode, my plan is to record an episode next week, which will probably be uploaded a little bit early next week, because then I need to get ready and leave. And then the week after that will not be a regularly scheduled episode. There might be something a little bit late when I get home. We'll see. We'll see. So I am thinking about what do I want to bring on this trip, and we're going pretty far, so me and my family. And then when we go home, I am taking the bus and trains, and I have like 5 or 6 switches, is that the word? And it is going to take me 12 hours to get home, so we're going far. So I want to have, you know, a really tight, as small as possible luggage, not to have to carry too much stuff around. That was my phone. I never had the sound on, so I wasn't sure what that sound was, but I'm waiting for the call. So I'm trying to figure out the best idea for travel knitting to bring that will keep me happy and also not take up too much room. So yeah, I will cast something new on, but I will try to come up with a good idea. So I am knitting away on this summer top. I've worked quite a bit since last time you saw it. It is the needle is too short to show it to you properly. It's knit top down, raglan increases, the sleeves are on holders, and I'm working down the body. I am also working on the Still Light tunic by Vera Velimäki. Excuse me. That has had some work done, not a lot. I don't even have a progress keeper on this one. But this is also worked top down with raglan increases. You can see the markers here where the increases are. Some short rowing for the back, so the back is a little bit deeper. With this, there's going to be a button in the back. Yeah, well anyway, I haven't done a lot on that either, so. Oh, I finished the mittens though. And again, I've had other things to do. It's life, it's okay. You know what, I'm gonna pause now, because I believe the phone call is... They predicted that they were gonna call 2 minutes ago, so they are probably calling any minute now. So I'm pausing and I'll be with you again in a second. Just as I hit the button, the phone called, so that was timing. Turns out my doctor is not working there anymore. If you've been with me for a while, and especially last fall, you know that I'm not very happy with my healthcare provider at the minute, so that contact with that doctor was the one thing that kept me at that, with that healthcare provider. I don't even know the words to use, but if she's not working there anymore, I might, well, we'll have to see. Yes, I'm getting my meds though, so you don't have to worry about that if you were worrying. So I don't have any more crafting to show you. Just checking around me to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. No, nothing else. Okay, so the thing is, on Sunday, it's my birthday. Somehow I'm turning 30. Don't understand how that is. How that works. And I would not say I'm having any sort of, you know, midlife crisis or 30s crisis, but I am a little bit overwhelmed, I must say. So I wanted to ask you guys, I mean, I know many of you are older than me, and I am a firm believer in that, you know, age is just a number, and you can be an old 30 or you can be a young 30. It all depends on your experience in life and so on, sure. But with age also comes experience and wisdom. No matter what, you can't help it. So I want to ask you guys, especially those of you who are older than me, but also, I mean, if you have something wise to say, I'm not discriminating against youth. What do you wish someone would have told you when you were 30-ish? Please tell me. Again, I'm not like crising. I'm not in a crisis or anything, but yeah, it's been, as I said, it was a pretty rough week with I mean, I know it's just like the camp sort of emptied my serotonin and it needs time to build. I know that, like in my head, but it's still been sort of rough and I've been sort of thinking about aging and all this. So yeah, if you have some advice, please share with me. I would very much appreciate that. I'm drinking licorice tea and it's so delicious. Not really right now because it's getting a bit too cold, like just lukewarm, which does something to the taste, but it's still pretty good. There was another thought going through my brain. Whoa. This is just me being tired though, I know that. Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know. As I said, next week I am aiming at, because things can always happen. My idea is, my thought is to record and upload a bit early next week, and then, as I said, the week after that will be something else. Both. Yeah, I don't know. Last summer, Mom and I did a pretty long segment of that episode on knitting, and my brother and I did a segment on woodwork, woodcraft, on our vacation together. We might do something of that sort this year again, because it was nice. I thought it was nice anyway. And as I said, I will have to think about what crafting things that I'm bringing. So I might not have a lot with me to talk about. So there might be something different. We'll have to see. And it will be different time-wise, if that makes any sense grammatically. You know what I mean though, right? But yeah, so that's the forecast. And there are like teenage magpies. I know I talked about those last week, or last episode 2 weeks ago. Like teenager magpies who are terrorizing the neighborhood. In the daytime they are sort of cute, and awkward and cute. Early mornings, no, not so much. Well, anyway. Yeah, I finished watching Orange is the New Black. The fourth? Is it the fourth? The fourth season? The new season. I believe it's the fourth season. The other day, and oh lordy lord. I'm not giving any spoilers, but there must be a next season. There must be a next season. I've had 2 dreams, like night dreams this week, that I was actually in prison. I wasn't exactly Piper, but I was sort of Piper of my own Orange is the New Black. It wasn't as terrifying as I thought, as you might think it would be. I'm not, however, aspiring to actually go to prison. Yeah. Orange is the New Black. Amazing. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I am trying to perfect my Alex Voss look. I am not working it today at all, but I'm trying to perfect it, and I must say I am pretty proud of what I've achieved so far. I'm doing right now, or what I was doing as I had my breakfast by the computer before I started recording, is to watch the OC from the beginning. It aired on TV, I don't know when. When was it? Like the early-ish 2000s? No, not early-ish, sort of mid-ish of the... That doesn't work when you say 2000s though, because that is the whole thousand. If it was the mid-90s, it would be sort of 90, I don't know, 3 to 97 or something. So the mid 2000s. Anyway, I didn't really watch it at the time. I watched an episode here and there, as you do. I never got the... What do you say? I got the concept, but not the plot. Or I got the plot, but... You know what I mean? So I am rewatching it from the beginning, and it's so good. It is so good. And I'm also... So Misha Barton, who plays Marissa in the series, she really was like the hottest thing anyone could name. You know? She was it. And now as I watch it, and I mean, I thought so too. I thought she was, I mean, I wanted to look like her. I never did, but I wanted to. And now as I watch it, I'm like, too skinny. And there are a lot of characters in the OC that are just too skinny. And that actually makes me a little bit happy, because I think that we might possibly have slightly healthier ideals now compared to 10 years ago. Maybe not in all aspects and so on, but maybe we actually do have healthier, slightly healthier ideals. That's amazing. That's really, really amazing. I don't know. When I watch podcasts, sometimes they talk about what they're watching, and that sometimes doesn't interest me at all, and sometimes it is super inspiring. So those are my two sort of tips of what I'm watching right now. So do what you will with that. I don't know. I'm just rambling because I'm thinking I should really go out to see if I've gotten any mail, and I don't want to go out because I'm lazy. So I'm rambling instead. But I'll stop that right now because I don't have anything else to say. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for spending some time with me. As the Legacy Knit girls, women, always say that I know that there are a lot of options out there, as with the airlines. So thank you so much for choosing to spend some of your time with me. That's so cool. Excuse me. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I do hope that you have a good time, whatever you're doing. If you're on vacation, if you're on staycation, if you're still working, or whatever it is that you do, I hope you have a good time. And please do take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves and to one another. That has become sort of my standard phrase, as you know by now. But I really, really mean it. Be kind to yourselves and to one another. I am trying to remind myself to be kind to myself pretty much constantly because it's very hard, but I think that it is something that is important to aspire to at all times. So please try. Achoo. Achoo. Yeah, that's it. I wanted... Okay, so I don't really have anything else to say if you're not interested in, like, music. So if you're leaving, that's completely fine. Bye. I'll see you next time. I mentioned that I had a pretty strong musical experience at camp. So I want to tell you about that. And in order to do so, I need to give you a little bit of background. So what I do for work. Okay, so camp is voluntary. It is, what do you say? I don't get paid to do it. I get, like, the lodgings and the cost of the camp are, I mean, it's free for me to go there. I don't have to pay to go there, but I also don't get paid. So yeah. There is a lovely word for that, I'm sure, but that is, it's not work, but it's cool. It's in some ways quite similar to what I do at work. So what I do at work, part of my work, is to play the piano and sing songs together with people, for people. It's not, I do have some gigs that are a little bit more of a performance, but most of what I do is sort of more relaxed, you know, let's just sing together, sort of. And when I do that, I don't have to be, you know, constantly on my toes. I don't have to be super focused. I don't need to be performing. I don't need to, you know, deliver with everything that I do. Which is nice. Which is what makes it possible to work. I wouldn't be able to cope with having, you know, 2 or 3 performances a day. I wouldn't be able to take that. But these more informal type things are manageable. So I do a lot of the time sort of think about other stuff. I am aware of what I'm doing, but you know, the muscle memory is kind of cool, and you can do things like your hands can play, and your mouth can sing, and your mind could be not 100% occupied with that, which is kind of cool. So I have, you know, quite a lot of practice of doing that with my work. Yeah, so at camp we did a bunch of different things overall, and we did a bunch of different musical things where I was involved. On Sunday, the camp finale sort of is the Sunday service. The camp itself is, we have a little, I don't know the word, it's not a complete service, but just like a little, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes mini service type thing every night. And we also have like a morning gathering where we sing a bunch of songs and we talk about, so someone gives, I mean, it's not by any means a class or a Bible study, but you know, something about, so this year's theme was to build a house, you know, to build your house on a firm ground, which then applies to our lives. And is easily, like, if you see it from a Christian or a religious point of view, it is a very clear message, but it is also not like, you know, in your face for someone who doesn't adhere to the same religion. It can still be, you know, you need to find something that you can stand firmly on. You know what I mean? And then we talked about different rooms in the house. So, for example, if someone knocks your door and it is someone you don't really know, you might invite them into your, where's your hallway to talk? But you might not invite them further into your house. But if it's a friend, you might invite them in, you know, to the living room to sit on the couch. And if it is, you know, a life partner, you probably invite them to the bedroom. But then you have the bathroom where you're probably alone. And what is that in our lives? So it isn't exactly Bible study, but it is life views on a Christian ground. I think you know what I mean. So we have those in the mornings. So it is it is slightly churchy, but it's not like a religious camp, if you will. So it's not a big build-up for the Sunday service, but the Sunday service is the finale. Does that make any sense? So we always try, and this year especially, to have lots of music in the Sunday service. So the camp is completely responsible to put the Sunday service together. So we don't follow, like, we don't have... What was that? I don't know. We don't have like the traditional sermon. Is that the word? I think it is. And I mean, we do it our own way. It's a bit more informal. And we try to have a lot of music because the campers can participate in that. And we try to put it on. And again, they are absolutely not children, but in some ways they sort of are. And that sounds so awful to say, but I absolutely don't mean it demeaning or... You know what I mean? So we try to make the Sunday service, you know, we're trying to put it on a easier to understand level, if you will, compared to a regular Sunday service. So a lot of music, a lot of like small, instead of a long, someone, you know, preaching on for an hour, we have like small snippets of spoken stuff scattered around. Words. Anyway, so last year I remember I was a little bit upset, not upset, rather nervous probably, because I was supposed to play the hymns, and especially so we didn't really have hymns, but we had one hymn for the, I don't know the word, where you collect the money. It's just the collect in Swedish. I don't know what it is in English. And we usually sing a song for that. And that was like one of the traditional hymns, and I'm not so good with that. At all. So I was like, you know what? If I am playing the hymns, I am doing it my way. And I added a lot of like harmonies that aren't traditionally necessarily welcomed in church. Because I was like, you know, why should the devil have all the good music? And I did it my style. And that worked out fine. So this year I had made sure that we didn't really have one of those. We had more easily sung along songs instead, and it worked out fine. Anyway, so we still had, so we were about 45 people, I think, in total at camp. And then there were probably double that of visitors in the church on Sunday. So roughly somewhere between 100 and 140 people singing along in these songs. And I played on the grand piano. And it went pretty smoothly, and it was such a happy atmosphere, and people were Okay, so the camp overall name from year to year is You Are Loved in Swedish. And that was definitely the overall atmosphere, both at camp and especially in church, on this service. That also they are not the audience, but the people who were just there for the service, I'm sure, felt that we are all loved just as we are, and the happiness that comes with that. Anyway, I'm rambling. So there was such a warm and happy atmosphere in church, which was lovely. So I played along to a song, whatever it was, and I sang. I had a microphone where I sat so that I could sing into it, because I don't really play, the melody. I've never learned that, so I sing instead. And I didn't really... Sometimes when you do that, you sort of really need to lead with your singing. I didn't have to do that, because everyone was just involved and did their part, and it was lovely. And I needed to scratch my nose or something, because when I play and sing, and again this goes back to my training or practice from work, because I sneeze sometimes. I've sort of learned how, if I just have an itch somewhere, I try to ignore it, because it does interfere with playing, because I use both my hands and I need a hand to scratch. And it depends on if it is super informal or something, I might scratch, whatever. But I've sort of intuitively learned when I actually need to take a hand off from the piano and let that affect the music, to scratch my nose to avoid sneezing. So I did that. And that sometimes, means you miss a beat on the piano or something, or and you have to sort of catch up. You make syncope, is that the word in English? And it usually works out fine. And sometimes you sort of stumble. And I just realized as I did that in church on Sunday with, again, let's just say 120 people singing along, and the grand piano was playing, and I was like, whoa. As on Christmas Eve. I'm not sure that is a thing outside of Sweden. In the cartoon, when Donald Duck and Mickey Mouse goes camping in the caravan, and what's his name in English? Long leg. Goofy is driving up in the mountains, and then it's dinner time, and they all gather in the caravan and eat, and it's pretty bumpy, and someone asks, who's driving? And Goofy's like, that's me. And then realized it's not. That was sort of the experience I had by the piano. And yeah, that is aired on TV on Christmas Eve, so that was really the experience I had. I was like, whoa, I am creating this music. And I realized that the experience that I usually have when I play, people are singing along. Granted, I usually don't have that many people singing along. I very, very rarely experience that it is me, creating the music. And you can argue, sort of philosophically, am I creating the music, or is it there all the time and I'm just, creating, I am parting the blind so that the sun can shine through. Am I doing that for the music? But I am actually doing something. I move my fingers to do something, right? I realized that is almost never my experience. My experience when I play people are singing along, what usually is my experience is that the music is happening and I am tagging along. I am... Okay, so I've never water skied, but that's sort of the best analogy I can find right now, that I am sort of just tagging along afterwards. As on a tow line. I'm keeping the same speed, I'm doing the same laps, you know, or whatever, but it's not me doing it. And as I sort of scratched my nose and I made the beat, or I don't know, I was like, whoa, this is me, you know? And not to be like, look at me, look what I'm doing, but this is me. I am doing this. I am a vessel, not a vessel, I am a tool for all these people to have this common experience. And it is, I would say always, possibly always, it is usually, possibly always, a stronger common experience if you actually do something. I would say. I mean, you can go to a concert and listen to wonderful music, and that can really, really affect you. But I think that, yeah, I probably shouldn't get lost in philosophical thoughts right now, but if you can actually participate, and I am thinking about, where's the proms? Is that what it's called? I feel like it might be called something bigger. You know, the concert thing in England, where, or in UK I should say, where they play like serious music and everyone is just involved. And it's quite magic. I think that that is a stronger experience because you are yourself involved. And I was, you know, blessed to be the tool to be able to unite all these people from different backgrounds, from different, you know, everything, together in this music. It was, yeah, I don't really have, you know, a punch line or anything for this, but it was such a strong experience for me. Yeah, that was really, really cool, and I've been thinking about it every now and then since then, and it was, yeah, it was really cool. It was really strong. It was really powerful for me. So I wanted to share that. I wanted to share that. Yeah. Okay, I've been rambling on and on and on, and I'll let you go now. So again, please take care. Be kind to yourselves and to one another. And thank you for spending some time with me. I'll see you next time. Bye!